Welcome to The Day I Found Myself with host Cynthia Newell. Life is a series of events designed to help us grow and evolve. This inspirational show is about self-discovery, inner healing, and triumph. Let's dive in. Welcome to The Day I Found Myself with your host, Rise and Win coach Cynthia Newell of Dare to Dream. I'm so honored and grateful to God to have this platform to share inspirational stories about overcoming. The day I found myself not giving up is today's topic. Now, over the last 9 years, I have experienced some very trying circumstances, but here I am today, still showing up for the vision and the call that God has placed over my life. And so, over the course of the time that we'll spend together on this show, my goal is to support you in knowing that you can come through any adversity that you face. My goal is to encourage you to dig deep within yourself to find the strength to overcome anything that you face and to help you see yourself as resilient. My story is no story of ease. God gave me a vision back in 2009 that I would be used mightily to coach and help prepare people for life. And I started doing that in my role as a supervisor at this Fortune 100 company. And then I wrote a book. And so I thought that I was getting ready to be the next best-selling author, and my book was going to sell millions of copies, and that was going to be my way out. So I decided to quit my job. And in quitting my job with two teenage girls, I can tell you with the bills not stopping, the money that I saved, it dwindled down really, really fast. And so I found myself in a place of despair and just concern about life. But I never stopped giving up on the dream that God had placed in my heart, which was to inspire, empower, and motivate people to do just that. So my story is a very unique story. And that's what we're going to be talking about today, and how you can take the things that I've learned through my journey and apply it to your life. And so when we come back, we're going to talk about some of the things that I've gone through, and I'm going to help you understand how you can apply these lessons to your life. Are you ready to create a life you love waking up to? Well, then you have to be at my Create Your Life virtual vision board retreat. It's happening Sunday, February the 26th via Zoom. My vision board retreats go beyond the board, and I teach you not only how to connect to what you desire to have, be, and do on a soul level, but I also guide you through how you can use your dreams to influence your vision. And so if you're ready to give voice to your vision and make sure that it has full expression in your life, go ahead and register today at www.clarifyyourdreams.com. Just click on Create Your Life and secure your spot. I'll see you there. Welcome back to The Day I Found Myself, a show that is here to build your resilience muscle and keep you going so that you can find yourself through the things that you overcome. I just want to share, just because I said yes to the assignment that God had given me, which was to support women with giving voice to their vision so that it has full expression in their life. My life did not stop lifing, y'all. So in 2014, just to give you a little background of the things that I encountered, in 2014, I found myself homeless. And in that experience, it was also the year that my teenage daughter gave birth to my grandson. Now, that was very trying. And at that point, I couldn't see how I could inspire other people to follow their dreams when my reality was I was homeless and the mom of a teen mom. And then if that wasn't enough, in 2015, my marriage was unstable. And after two miscarriages, I gave birth to my rainbow child, Samantha, who, by the way, was premature. All of those things were challenging in their own right. And it caused me to question if God had really called me to do what it was that I was trying to do. I had started Dare to Dream in 2012, and it started out, being really well, a good business where women could come, be inspired. We would have sister circles, vision board workshops. But then when life started hitting the way that it hit, it was hard to maintain that momentum. And I don't know if you've ever experienced that when life has hit you so hard, you begin to question, am I really made for this? Was I really called to do this? Am I equipped for this? Is this the right time, to do this thing that God has told you to do? I've learned through my experience that everything that we go through is encoded in the process, meaning that God already knew that it was going to happen. Sometimes we don't understand why things happen, but if we take a look back, like I do time to time, I look at the depth of character and the depth that I have now, where I am able to reach women from all walks of life through my experience. 2016, I was diagnosed with stage 3 colon cancer. That was something that totally caught me off guard, because here I am finally getting a rhythm. I have 2 small children, and I'm getting a rhythm. I have my Rise and Win calls that I'm doing every week. I have my events that I'm hosting every quarter. But then I noticed, in 2015 that I'm getting sick. I'm vomiting. I don't have strength. I don't have energy. I thought it was because of the baby, but come to find out there was a malignant tumor in my colon. And so I go through that experience of having to have my colon removed. And I remember the day after my surgery, I recorded this video. Stop.
It is a new day. Today is Saturday, April 16, 2016.
So in that video, I was very emotional, but I was very grateful for a new day. And I just want to encourage you, don't count yourself out. I remember when I was going through my cancer experience, and when the doctors first told me what the diagnosis was, I immediately responded emotionally. And that's what we tend to do. We respond emotionally. But through the course of time, I've learned to stop and really take in what I'm hearing and allow my spirit to respond, because our emotions can cause us a great deal of trouble. I remember crying and just in that moment feeling like, oh my God, my life is over. Cancer, because you hear so much about people dying from cancer. But I'm grateful to God that He sent the word immediately after that experience. I got a phone call from a loved one, and they said that the Lord told me to tell you that this is not a sickness unto death. And so I had that to hold on to. And I offer that to you. Like the day you find yourself wanting to give up, you have to hold on to the tidbits of encouragement that God sends your way, the reminders from yesterday, like the things that God has brought you through, the things that you've overcome, how God has showed up in the 11th hour. Those are the things that got me through. And that's what I want to offer to you. And so when I got home from the hospital, after this experience, I'm like, okay, God, this is behind me. Let's move forward. I had created this powerful vision board of what my business would be and what it would entail, hosting retreats, having talk shows. Hence, here I am today with a talk show titled The Day I Found Myself. And so that was in 2016. And here we are now in 2023. I want you to not be so focused on time. Sometimes, like Ecclesiastes 3 says, there is a season for all things. We may be passionate and ready to go forth and do something, but it's not the season for it. So don't be discouraged if your vision isn't unfolding as you wanted it to unfold, but just take comfort in knowing that if God showed you that vision, it will come to pass. And so I created my vision board and I have my vision board posted up in my little office, now that we have our own place now, and I can't wait to tell you about the dream that led me to that place. But we have our place, and I'm looking at my vision board, and I'm finding encouragement and momentum because I feel connected to the vision. I see where I'm going. I have this roadmap, and then boom, there's all of this contention in my house with my husband and my children, his stepchildren. So there's no peace. So I'm finding myself being a referee in my own home, and I'm feeling torn between my husband and my children. And so, for many days when I would come home, I would sit in the driveway for like 30 to 40 minutes before I go into the house. And so I want to offer that to you. When you feel like giving up, sometimes you have to steal away and get some alone time. Don't allow yourself to make yourself feel selfish or guilty because you need time to reset and you need time to prepare your mind for what you're getting ready to go into. And so I found myself dealing with that. And then we had the marital issues, financial issues. And I'm just sharing all of this just to say that life, it never stops. It's never going to stop lifing. But God will give you the strength to live the life that He has called you to live. He knew you before you came to this earth. Jeremiah 29:11 says, before we were formed in our mother's womb, God knew us and He had a plan for our life. And that's what we have to hold on to in those moments where we want to give up. We have to remember the promises and the word of God that gives us strength, that gives us fortitude, that gives us clarity. It's not to say that we won't get down. When my daughters were fighting in the home and fighting against my husband, I felt really down, because I had this big dream of a happy home, and that what I was living was furthest from the truth. And so I just want to encourage you, when you feel like giving up, find yourself digging deep and holding on to the things that will give you that inspiration, that momentum, that courage, that strength to keep going. Life didn't stop happening, y'all. So we get COVID in 2020, and at the top of that, there was some things, the marriage had just brewed and brewed and brewed, and so we made the decision to split, and so I was not prepared to be a single mom at 46. I had my daughter at 39, so later birth, I had envisioned me and her father taking care of her. So I leave, we go our separate ways. We got the pandemic, it's depressing because the world has shut down. You can't go out. You can't really do the things that you want to do. So you have to sit with yourself. You have to sit. I was forced to sit with myself and really accept that this is my life. And do you know where that took me? I was headed toward depression because I couldn't believe it. I was so devastated. I was so disappointed that this was my life. But even in that, I started a book club. I continued to pour into women, even when I felt like there was not enough for me. I continued to host my webinars and workshops because that's my purpose. So this is the day that I found myself not giving up. That's why I'm here able to talk to you today, because I didn't give up. Is life all peachy keen now? No. I have my grandson who is living with me. He's supposed to be living with his mother, but due to unforeseen circumstances, he's with me. So I'm back with 2 small children. But I have the support of my mother. She's very instrumental, in me taking care of them right now in this season. And so when you find yourself wanting to give up, look at the people who are around you, who are supporting you, who are giving you those breaks, who are listening to you, and they're not judging you. They're just offering you a shoulder to cry on or a safe place to vent. Those are things that got me through and continue to get me through. So I'm offering it to you. And so I am excited about this show because in this show, I get to share all the people, well, not all of them, but the main characters in my story that have helped me to navigate these last 9 years of life. So you'll meet some amazing people, my mom, my daughters, my coach. You'll meet some sister friends who have been supportive on this journey. And I just want to encourage you, if you don't have community, whether it's a church or a coaching community, sister friends, get community, because the day you find yourself wanting to give up, it just might be your community that will help you to remember who you are, or that will be that shoulder for you to lean on, that will give you that inspiring word to help you keep going on, or just sit there and hang you tissues as you cry. So I hope that you will stay tuned for all of these amazing shows that are due to come up to you. And as we close, I want you to enjoy this beautiful piece of poetry that I've created just for you. Until next time, make it a great day on purpose. Stop.
Finally, I Can Breathe by Cynthia Sherrill. In my new dwelling place, my belongings are not arranged, not the way they were in my old place. Some doesn't think it matters, but it does, because here there is a difference of order. In my new habitat, I don't have to unpack malice or discontentment. I discarded it with resentment. See, I've just moved, and in my new quarters, I don't have to find anywhere for bitterness to go. I left that with the stale of bottled waters. In my old residence, shattered picture frames and broken records, empty covenants and restless emotions, yeah, all of that was unloaded in the recycling bin. In my new abode, I am serenaded with peace, caressed by gentle breezes, and overtaken with satisfaction. I feel right at home.